Welcome to the Big Small Podcast. I'm your host, Jaden Lunt, and in today's episode, it's kind of going to be more of an introductory episode to what this podcast will be about. My name's Jaden. I'm 23 years old, and I have had a passion for wildlife pretty much my entire life. I caught my first snake when I was about 6, my first monitor when I was 8, and I've always been messing up my grandparents' backyard to the pain of my opa. He was very particular about how he had his garden, and I was very unparticular how I put the rocks back when I was looking for all the skinks and stuff. Found a couple snakes in his yard, and that just made it all the more worth it to make his yard look more like how I wanted to make it look. But at this point, I've been a professional snake catcher for about 2.5 to 3 years. In that same time, in the same company, I've been a fauna spotter catcher for about 2.5 years. And before I was a fauna spotter and snake catcher, I was a reptile demonstrator for about 3 years. I started off in the non-venomous wildlife, did some photos with the public, with crocodiles, lizards, and pythons. And then over the years, I worked my way up to the venomous demonstrator. And so I did a couple of venomous demonstrations down in New South Wales. And I don't think I actually did any in Queensland. I might have done one in Queensland. But that was so much fun getting to interact with people and see the smiles on their faces when they're learning something new, or just the wonder of the kids when they're seeing these animals that are taught to be like vicious and dangerous, and we're here teaching them, they're like, hey, there's something more to it. And it just takes time to understand what reptiles and what wildlife is really about. All of the small moments, all the conversations we have, all the realizations that we have, it's all a brushstroke in our big life painting, our big life artwork, metaphorically speaking. And I think that's pretty spectacular that we're not just going from point A and instantly arriving at point B. There is a journey there, and it can be very challenging. It can be very challenging, but it's also very exciting because we get to make our own lives, and we're not being just a production line of one person that looks like the other person that looks like the other person. We are all very, very unique, and it's very exciting. Life is very, very exciting. And so I believe that life is a blessing, and that God has given us this time on earth to love, to experience, and to impact the lives of those around us in a positive way. And I'm sure you would agree, there is so many things to know, so many things to experience, and so many different ways of looking at life. We all have had our own life experience, and the small things in our lives have impacted how we see the bigger picture. The stories that we've heard from parents, from grandparents, from friends, from strangers, the experiences that they have had have impacted us potentially in a negative way, but potentially also and hopefully in a positive way to help strengthen us to be better prepared for what life has and the options that life has. So this podcast will be about the knowledge and experience of adventurers, those who go hiking, camping, forward driving, advocates, those who plant up our forests and clean up our beaches, and authorities, people in fields such as biology, wildlife science, behavior, and also species-specific knowledge. The episodes will come out every week on a Monday morning, and they'll be both on YouTube and the audio platforms, most, if not all, the audio platforms. And I am looking forward to this adventure, all these conversations that we're going to have, all the people that we're going to meet. It's going to be so much fun. And I hope you, the listener, can grow along with me as we have all these conversations. At the end of podcasts, at the end of episodes, I will be putting information down in the show notes of all the episodes. But for the time being, if you would like more information, you can head over to www.thebigsmall.au. And I look forward to seeing you in all future episodes.